Hey, everybody, I hope that all is well with each and every one of you. Come on in the room. Tonight, it's going to be amazing. A powerful, powerful time of dialogue and conversation about what you might ask about Hope Fellowship Church. It is our church's 25th anniversary. And as a part of our virtual celebration, we are hosting a series of conversations tonight at 7 p.m. and tomorrow at 7 p.m., looking at uh, how hope has been so impactful and so meaningful in the lives of so many people. And so we want you to be a part of this. Each night's going to be no more than an hour long, but it gives you a snapshot, a little view into how persons have been impacted, and not only impacted, but transformed and developed in and through the life of Hope Fellowship Church. So I hope that you're ready to join us. Here's what I'd like for you to do. I'd like for you to enter, for you to comment and say hello. Let us know how your day has been, where you're tuning in from if you're a first time guest. And then I'm going to request, as always, that you would share. We want to toot our own horn and really spread the message of how amazing of a ministry Hope Fellowship Church is. And it is amazing because so many amazing people have traversed through its history and have come through this particular branch of Zion and have become great in their own right. Amen. And we're celebrating that this week. We're celebrating God's amazing grace that has been extended to this body of believers called Hope Fellowship Church. And so I hope that you're ready to join the conversation this evening. Tonight is very, very special. It's very special because as a part of our church's anniversary, we always want to make sure we honor our founder, our founding members, and our foundational members. Tonight, we honor, in his absence, Bishop Derek T. Triplett. I need to see some thumbs up and some hearts on Facebook. I need to see some shout outs on YouTube. We give God praise for our founder and our bishop. It is through his loins that this amazing work was born. 25 years ago, June 25th, 1995, the church held its first worship experience. And I'm telling you, I watched that the other week and I was so touched and moved to see what God used this great man of God to do. And so we celebrate and honor him as our founder, as our bishop, and we give God praise for the legacy which he left in this particular ministry and the impact that his handprint and imprint on this ministry continues to yield even to this day. We celebrate God for our founder. We also celebrate God for our founding members, those who were there from day one, those who came June 25th, 1995, and decided to make Hope Fellowship, at that time, Full Gospel Baptist Church, their church home. Wow. And many of our founding members are still alive and well and kicking, and several of them are still at Hope. And we give God praise for you and your longevity and the trails that you have blazed and the way that you continue to serve and make new and make great in the context of Hope Fellowship Church. We are so grateful for you. And our foundational members. The foundational members are persons that joined Hope Fellowship within the first year of its existence. So from June 25th, 1995 to June 25th, 1996, those who jumped on board and used your own sweat and tears and finances and all of those things to help build and carve out this work. There is no church without people. The Greek word ecclesia deals with a congregation, a community of those who have been called out. And we are grateful that God used this called out people to bring hope to a community that certainly needed it at that time and still needs it today. And so I am so excited that this evening we're going to hear from several of our founding members and our foundational members in a time of lighthearted, informal dialogue and conversation, going back in time to share some of the great memories, to take a look at some of the ups and the downs and some of the funny moments, some of the sad times, and to really just enjoy this time of fellowship. So it gives all of us, even those who have come into the ministry over this last 4 years nearly that I've been the senior pastor, it gives us all the opportunity to really look at where things started. And so I'm excited for our church anniversary chairperson, Ernest Hamilton, who has done an amazing job shifting and changing and adjusting all of the original plans that we were going to have as a result of COVID-19, kind of putting the kibosh on everything that we were going to do to celebrate. But he and his team sat with me and we developed some ideas and concepts as to some really special things that we could do to help continue to celebrate our church in grand fashion, even if it is virtually. And so after we have heard what hope means to a couple of our founding members who send in videos, we're going to have Ernest Hamilton, who is going to lead us in discussion, is going to lead and moderate this time of dialogue. And the first group of people he's going to be interviewing and talking with are our first family, the very first family. Of course, you all know I'm not married. I don't have first lady. But this church began with Bishop Derek Triplett, Elder Tracy Triplett, Destiny Triplett, and Donovan Triplett. And tonight, we have a portion of the first family that is going to share their experiences about what Hope Fellowship meant and continues to mean to them and their experience in helping to build and carve out this work as a support to our bishop. We thank God for them being here with us this evening, and we're looking forward to the conversation. Let's hear what hope means.
Happy anniversary, Hope, from the Carlisles. Hope Fellowship has been a blessing to the Carlisles, not only in our marriage, but in our personal lives and individually. We appreciate you. We love you. Pastor JP, Bishop Triplett, the family of Hope, please stay safe and healthy. Have a good day. Bye.
Hi, everyone. My name is Monique. I have been at Hope Fellowship for about 2 years this coming year. To me, Hope is a place that I can call home. It's a place where I have family, where you really know that you are loved. You can be real and don't have to worry about putting on facades. You're going to grow. You're going to learn that there is strength in being faithful. So as we celebrate these 25 years of Hope, and everyone looks back over all of the years and where God has brought the ministry from, let's continue to look forward as well and be confident in what God has promised all of us. Be blessed.
Hi, everybody. I'm Ernest Hamilton, and I got to tell you, I'm so excited to be on this platform, and I am honored to be the chairman of the 25th church anniversary here at Hope Fellowship Church. Thank you for joining us and shifting through all of the pandemics and the things that we've been going through as a nation. We really appreciate your time of being here. But enough about me. I have some wonderful, wonderful guests to moderate tonight, and I'm so excited. Like Pastor JP said, I have the very first family here. Giving honor to our Bishop Derek T. Triplett. I know I wouldn't be who I am today had it not been for his teachings and who he is and how he serves God. So I want to bring on a few of my friends. I like to call you friends. Elder Tracy Triplett, and I'm also going to bring kids on, Destiny Triplett, and Donovan Triplett. Hey, y'all.
Hello.
Good
You hear
evening.
me okay?
Hello. Yeah, you're good.
You're good. It's so good to see y'all. And I tell you, this is like looking at this and seeing all of you on screen right now. Literally, I was 18 years old. When Bishop Triplett, long time ago, because that's like long time ago. But when I was first at Mount Carmel, and I was there, and he really poured into my life then. Elder Triplett, I just remember you just being a lady of class. I remember this. I was a kid, and I just saw that you all were just. And I think Destiny might have been a little girl. I think she was, and I think you were pregnant with Donovan when I first came about. And then you remember, and then it was just a wonderful, wonderful experience. I'm telling you, and just to see y'all now, to see Destiny as an adult and Donovan as an adult, it's just amazing because I remember them as children. I literally can say I remember them as children. How does that make you feel, Elder Triplett?
Well, I mean, honestly, I feel nothing but pride. I mean, these children have been fabulous, and even their contributions to Hope Fellowship and the sacrifices that they made.
They had to share us.
We started Hope Fellowship sharing their family. Absolutely. So I'm just very proud of them. And I'm really grateful for the foundation that Hope Fellowship placed in them, because they got a solid foundation of who God is. They have a relationship with God for themselves, which, so many children that came through Hope Fellowship Church got that foundation. So I'm just really proud of them.
Amen to that. One of them. Yes. How about you, Destiny? How does it feel to know that it's 25 years later?
It's really unbelievable when you think about how much of my life I spent at Hope Fellowship Church. But I think that it is a beautiful place filled with a lot of beautiful memories, and hopefully creating a lot more beautiful memories. And when we talk about Hope Fellowship amongst our family, it truly is a special place.
It is. You all are some special people, I'm telling you. How about you, Donovan?
Yeah, I mean, 25 years goes fast. It was nice to be a 2-year-old founding member. I was an accomplished baby at a really young age. But no, I mean, it's been cool just in thinking about it, and just like the discussions we've had. Actually, last Sunday, just watched the inaugural service, of Hope. So the sermon 25 years ago of my dad at 28 preaching a sermon, and me at 27 right now, and it was this sort of surreal moment of like watching him begin such a giant legacy at around the same age that I am. Was just an amazing thing, and seeing my mother in the pulpit as well. She did an amazing prayer that I remember, and it's just funny how things that were spoken 25 years ago still hold true and are helpful.
Wow. I literally, and I'm serious about it, I got goosebumps from hearing that, because I'm more amazed right now seeing, again, I got to say it again, seeing the both of you as adults. Because I remember when I was your age, and just to see this, I remember when you were a part of, Youth on Fire with me, and I remember getting you all the attention and making sure, and you were such good kids. I got to tell you, your parents did very well with both of you. There was some that used to get on my nerves. Y'all remember that. It's some that was like, but
oh yeah,
it was all fun and good. But the two of you you could tell that you came from a loving family. I always looked up to your family. I really did, genuinely. That's why I'm still at Hope today. Although, some things are transitioning for my family now, but my wife and I, Nicole, Nicole, of course, and you all have just been a major impact to our lives as well. So I'm just so glad to see all of you all here today. Elder Trippett, tell us about a little bit about what that was like. I came a couple of weeks later because I was not there on the 25th. I think it was summer, and I had gone home, I believe. So I came a couple of weeks later, so I missed the first service. So I cannot wait to see the service on Thursday. I cannot wait. I just know what my experience was when I came into Hope on that first Sunday, and I was like, my God, it was something I had never experienced before in the 90s in my life. So Elder Trippett, what was that like?
It was really mind-blowing is what it was, because you have to understand that Father's Day, which was, I think, the 19th, was our last Sunday at Mount Carmel.
That's right.
And within 7 days, we found a building. We had a choir, an usher board, a parking attendant, dancers, a whole choir. I mean, it was really amazing. But I remember, that morning getting ready to go to the church, not knowing what we were going to expect. You don't know who's going to show up. And when we walked in and saw over 280 people, 220, I don't remember, somewhere between 220, 250 people, it was really mind-blowing that the church was packed, and it was like we never missed a beat. And I was excited to see that the people who were looking for hope had a place to come to continue to build all of, that they had been getting at Mount Carmel, and just ready to go to the next level. So it really was mind-blowing, and it was surreal to see the support.
And again, I wasn't there the first day. I came a couple of weeks later, but all that you said, I was amazed to see how church went on. I came back, and like you said, there was singing going on, and praise team and dancers, and the word and prayer. It was, I never seen. It's hard to fathom it. You can say it to people and it's easy, but when you are there in the thick of it, it was just really, really amazing. What are some of your great memories, Destiny, as the eldest daughter? and your daddy being such a great man and your mom being such the beautiful woman she is?
I mean, I have so many beautiful memories. You spoke about Youth on Fire previously, and I swear we were at church every day between dance practice, choir rehearsal, praise team rehearsal, Bible study. But it really was a place where the people that I grew up with, I'm still friends with most of them to this day. And it's funny, we all the fact that we never remember meeting each other. So it really was this built-in family that we've known our whole lives.
It's really the family of hope.
Absolutely. And it's like we've seen those friends get married. We've seen those friends have babies. We've seen those friends build their own businesses. And all of us honestly credit our successes now as 20s, and I'm recently in the 30s club, as a result of the foundation that we received at Hope Fellowship Church. And it's funny, I come across people all the time, whether they were in and out of Hope because of being at Cookman, or they happen to live in Daytona and they no longer live there. And every person's story is the same about how what they experienced at Hope changed their life.
It was something. It was something else. How about you, Donovan? What are some of your fondest memories?
Yeah, same thing of just being there all the time. I remember in particular the one year we did the Black History Month production, really big, with you, and I remember Laura, and just like it was all the youth and kids, and we were at the church every day, and it was a pretty elaborate thing that's just kind of seared in my brain, but just felt it was special to be at a place where you could have something that sort of big and participate in something that felt meaningful and really learn these things that we weren't getting in school and that sort of thing. But yeah, I just remember it just being this so easy to make good choices coming in and out of that place so much. And hearing, for me personally, just hearing my dad preach in the way that he does, and the way that he sort of breaks down very tangled and maybe sometimes complicated emotions and makes them so plain and simple. I think I've seen so much of that feed into how I do my job, even though I'm in advertising. It's a lot of the same sort of thinking and a lot of the same sort of work. So yeah, I had lots of fond memories.
Your dad was and your mom, but they allowed us to be free and to really express ourselves, and that was a beautiful thing, for Hope Fellowship Church. Although I was an adult, a young adult, I was probably around your age at that time, but I remember being able to really cultivate some of the gifts that were in me because of Hope Fellowship Church and allowing that expression to happen. And on that note, I'm going to bring in another friend of ours. You all remember Linda Ammons, who is now Linda Barrows. I want to bring her in the conversation because there cannot be a Hope Fellowship Church and children without that person, I tell you. So is Linda in the conversation? There she is. She's coming on. Hi. Hey there, Linda.
Hey, it's Linda.
Hi, Devin. Hi, Ernest.
Hi. It is so good to have you on. Thank you so much. Gosh, this is like a wonderful reunion. Me. You're welcome. I tell you, although we're in this pandemic and we're doing things in the social distancing, the way that we're doing it, it's amazing how God has given us creativity on how to let things still happen and to know what matters most. We were supposed to be face to face to have all of you there, but this is just as lovely. And we got so many friends and people who are watching us right now. So Linda, I want to bring you in on the conversation because you pretty much raised those babies before they came over to the teenage. So tell me about the experience of that and your ministry, and tell the people, and let them know what you used to do when you were at Hope Fellowship.
First, I just want to say it's a privilege just to be invited to see you all and to talk to y'all. And it's hard for me not to get teary-eyed when I look at Destiny and Donovan. I mean,
I'm holding back too.
Yes, I was listening to her when she said she was in her 30s. I was like, oh Lord, I'm old. But I just remember those babies and just children's church. And I must speak on the fact that first, I just want to give honor to God for being a part of Hope Fellowship, to sit under Bishop Triplett and Elder Tracy, and to get the word of God. And I knew when I heard Bishop Triplett for the first time, I was like, he's just amazing. And how Donovan said he breaks down the word that you can understand it and you want to apply it to your life and you want to make the best decisions in life. So when we began children's church, passed on from Miss Piper, who was doing an excellent job, I thought to myself, I want to be able to do that for children. I want to break it down for them that they can understand it and they can take it with them. But we had such an amazing time. I remember the Holy Spirit just falling on these children. And when we would go into worship, once we started singing with fits, with the music and everything, they would begin to speak in tongue and just worship God. And it was just amazing. But just watching them now and just seeing how God has blessed their lives, because even though I don't see you, I do see you on Facebook, and I am so proud of you too, and just the job that your parents did. But there's a funny story that I remember where Donovan.
Yeah.
Thinking about Pastor Triplett, I remember when he would start his sermons, he would always give you some story that you could never forget. And I remember one story he was saying, how would you all feel if you were speeding or going maybe 15 or 25 over the speed limit and you would get a ticket? And everybody was okay with that. We're like, yeah, you're going 25 over the speed limit. But I remember my reaction when he said, how about if you just were going 1 mile over the speed limit? And then everyone's like, well, why would we get a ticket for 1 mile? But he went into the sermon, and I remember it over 25 years later that you don't get a pass to break one of God's commandments. And so how he brought that in, it just amazed me. But I remember just praying to God about how am I going to teach these children to know God for themselves. And so one time we decided to do David versus Goliath. And I don't know if Bessie and Donovan remember this, but we turned the whole children's church into a big boxing ring. And we had chairs and we roped it off everything. And I remember the sermon was, stand up for God, be a David. Donovan came out with his gloves on. When we rung the bell, he just started fighting the kid, like punching. I was like, oh, the Lord is coming so bad.
Oh, no.
He was very dramatic in a good way. He was. Yeah.
He was just going for it. And I remember them picking him up. And we rung the bell to break it up and let's go back to your corner so I can do the sermon. Donovan was still swinging. But they always gave me the material to use. They always participated in everything. And I was just blessed to be able to teach them.
And you know what? That's so. And Elder, thank you for that, Linda. Your story, and Elder Tracy, that must be really. I mean, you to hear this about you should feel really proud right now. I think. I mean, you already know how great your kids are, but I'm telling you, the impact that you all made on us. See, it's not all about what it was. The family made an impact on all of us, and I just think that when I think about hope and what it's grown to, but I always you always remember your first. And it's something about those early days in the beginning of when we had those old hard chairs that your butt hurt and and mix match this and a different chair in the pew and the one up there in the choir stand being hot. But we didn't care about any of that. We were like in a little warehouse. This is before we got to Derbyshire, but we were tearing it up in there. We were like having some real church. You didn't want to go home.
A lot going on in that warehouse. We did a lot of wonderful things with the Women of Hope. We had some major conferences on that state avenue where the Lord really came through and moved. And we had the media ministry all set up, and we just had such a wonderful time. But one thing that I definitely want to just say was that the Triplett family. Yes, we were a family, and I think God made us examples, and God, I think had an anointing on us to be, to begin Hope Fellowship Church to begin with. He had a plan for all of our lives. But the family of hope means something. It's not just the Triplett family. It's the family of hope. We had so many people that were just like family, and even today are still like family, because everybody just pitched in. Everybody brought their gifts and their talents, and everybody's heart was just to please God. It wasn't about being important or trying to be seen by somebody. It was about pleasing God. And so I just really want to
Pleasing
shout
God.
out the family of Hope, because I love you all so much and you all have been such a blessing to me. And I'm just really appreciative for the bond that started on State Avenue.
You know what? That's beautiful. And I'm telling you, 25 years from now, 25 years go by fast, doesn't it? It goes by
Yeah.
really fast. Before you know it, it's like, my daughter will be your children's age. It's like a blink of an eye, like literally. And you watch all of that and how important it is. And it's so important to have this foundation. You know what? I could talk. Y'all know I'm a talker. And anybody who knows me know I talk a lot. And I can talk all night to y'all. And I want to keep you on all night. But we have a second group of the panel. And I don't want you to go anywhere because you'll still be able to hear them as well. But Linda, I want to give you a little bit more time because I did talk to the triplet family. Is there anything else? I feel like you need to say something else. Get something. I'm so glad to see you. I haven't seen you in years. So life, you're not living in Daytona Beach anymore, and
No.
you're loving life and living life, and it's just so. Thank you for accepting the call when I called you, and you were like absolutely, and all of you, all of you. You didn't have to think about it. Y'all didn't have to say, well, I don't want to really be on screen. I don't want to do anything live. You really, because Hope, like you said, Elder Triple, is family, and we all a family. We are definitely a family. I mean, seriously, like I can't wait till the next 25 and next 25 and to see where Hope Fellowship grows and what it grows to. It's something that you also probably, I'm sure, are so proud. So whenever you're back in town, we welcome you to come back and visit. You're always loved there, and I mean that sincerely. As Ernest, I've seen you since I was a kid, and just to see all of you right now is just giving me chills. And I just want to say thank you so much. I love you. I love all of you. Continue to be great. The great people that you are. I just can't. I just know you're destined for even more, and God's going to give even more abundantly. Linda, anything else you would like to say to us before we depart and go to our next segment?
Yes, I want to thank you for inviting me again. And I just want to thank the triplets for just being who you are. I remember them in children's church, and they already came with that spirit of worship. They
Yes, they
already
did.
came with knowing Jesus. And I
Mhm.
remember them leading the praise team and just being the ushers, just doing everything, and just spending time with them outside of church, swimming and just everything. But I know my life just was changed by the family of Hope and just the worship that we were able to do in the big church and in children's church. And I'm just honored to see you all and just so happy to see you. Continue to just shine. Continue to take what you learn from your parents out into the world and change the world. I'm so proud of you too, and happy to see you. And I just want to thank God for what Hope imparted in my life and what Elder Tracy imparted in my life with the Women of Hope and Bishop Triplet. You can't get that anywhere, just anywhere. So if I
Amen.
could go back in time, I would do it all again with you all. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you, family, and thank you everybody for being here tonight. We're going to go to our next segment. We're going to hear from another member of Hope Fellowship who's going to tell us a little bit about what hope means to them. I love you all, and I'll see you later. Stay on the call, okay?
All right.
Love you.
All right, take
Bye.
care.
Love you all.
All right, love you guys.
Bye.
Okay, now we're going to have a word from another partner of Hope.
Hi, I'm Inga Hill, and I'm here to tell you why I joined Hope Fellowship Church. One is because of the Lord leading me there. Two, the power of connection. And three, the power of being connected to people of like-mindedness. And four, the power of community. And I thank God for being part of such a great place. Peace and blessings.
It's a place of refuge for my soul, renewal of my spirit, and guidance on my journey.
All right, welcome back, everybody. It was so great to do that last segment. I tell you, that was our foundation. It was so good. I could have gone on and on and on with them. But I do know that we're on a time schedule, and like again, I can do a part 2. That actually is going to be a part 2 on tomorrow. So stay tuned. I'll talk about that a little bit later. But now I want to bring on some other friends, and I'm going to have Linda Lane to join us, James Burt, Jackie Butler, and Francis Gillard. And I don't know if Laura Cornelius was able to join with us. But here we go. Coming on in, there's Francis, there's Jackie. Hey there, y'all.
Hey.
Hey. Do we have anyone else with us? Let me make sure that we haven't forgotten anyone. James or Linda Lane. Look like it's just us right now. That's okay. They can join in when they can. I may call some others back in, so I hope that Elder Triplett and the others are still on. So Francis and Jackie, thank you for accepting the call to do this. Again, I told you it's going to be as painless as possible. You saw earlier that I had Elder Triplett on. You probably heard the conversation. And were you able to hear the conversations we were having?
Awesome memories. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful.
Oh my God, Francis, such awesome memories. And on that, I want to hear some of your memories and what brought you all there. So Jackie, I think you were there on day 1, weren't you? Wasn't you?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What was that like on day 1? For you?
Wow. Well, I started at Mount Carmel, then we transferred to State Street, and walking into State Street, it was just like the building was shaking. It was like we was near the railroad tracks, but we were shaking.
Oh, I remember those railroad tracks. Yeah.
Yes, and the worship was powerful. The choir, y'all was tearing that stage up. But the love that we had for each other going into that building, and that's one reason why I stayed with Hope and joined Hope, because it's a family atmosphere.
Yeah.
You yourself, you was accepted the way you were, and then with room to grow. So we all have room to grow, but coming in as you are was the main thing for me. You can say rags to riches, however you want to put it, but you come as you are, and the word of God and the love and the family atmosphere installing you and grow. It helps you on the inner side to be beautiful on the inner side as well as the outside. Mm-hmm. So just that closeness, that love, walking in, being hugged by the greeters was just wonderful.
Constant love, right?
Yeah. The parking lot committee, smiling, walking you to the door when it rained, walking you to the umbrella. We didn't have no worries. They had us. So that was one thing going into State Avenue. And then the people, like Elder Tracy said, that followed over there. When I went in the door, I'm like, what? We were packed. We was going out the door, trying to find seats. So if you didn't get there on time, you missed it.
Oh yeah, because there was seats in the overflow section, right on the other side. That's right.
Nobody didn't want to sit over there. So that's one thing got us to come on.
You want to sit over there?
On time.
Had to get there on time.
What we know about our pastor, he's going to start on time.
Okay?
On time.
On time.
Yeah.
That's right.
Nothing late, nothing at all. Francis, how about you when you and your family came? Like, what was your time that you came there? You came a little bit later, right? A little bit.
We came a little bit later. We weren't there on the first day, and it was we were friends with Pastor Triplett and Tracy because, Young Saints United, the choir we had. I belong to Church of God by Faith. I was brought up in Church of God by Faith, which was on Cypress Street, down the street from Carmel. And so, with Young Saints United, we became friends and everything. And so when you all left Mount Carmel and moved to State Street, we would leave our church of God by Faith, and come over to Hope. So it was
I remember seeing y'all do that. Yeah.
We didn't join right away. We would just come to service. We would leave our service and come. And I remember sitting on that side because we never got a seat because we wasn't on time. So we had to sit on that side row over there towards the back door. And I just remember the praise and worship. I would stand there and just be in tears because the power of God. I had never, being brought up in the Holiness Church, I had never experienced the power of God like that. It was different. the worship was so powerful and impactful. Yes, the trains would be going by, the building be shaking, but I mean, the power of God in that place would shake.
It was the power of God.
It was amazing. So it wasn't until after my oldest daughter's surgery that we actually joined. We couldn't take it anymore. Me and Keegan were like, we got to do it. And it was hard for me because I was brought up in another church. That's all I knew. And I was like, God is saying, you got to move. And so once we joined, I mean, like Jackie said, the welcoming, I mean, every aspect from the ushers, parking lot attendant, choir, pastor, everybody in the church, it was just love. And even once I started leading worship, you know, Jackie, Brian, and Kim, let me tell you, my babies, I didn't have to worry about them. It was just the one yelling. Then when I was pregnant and had Kevin, they had him too. You know, I just walked in and gave them to them. So it was good. I loved it.
and you did that for us too with Sydney. We just walk in, we give it to you. So you just pass the torch is what you did.
Just keep it going.
I tell you, it was so, you know, my memories, you know, it mirrors everybody. And what you're saying, although we all came in different walks, we all had the same experience. You know, we all felt the love. We all felt that we could be vulnerable, that we could be ourselves. No one judged you. And we just wanted to be, our pastor, Pastor Triplett, wanted us to be excellent, and he always preached excellence. So we believed in everything we did in life had to be of excellence.
That's what I was getting ready to say. It was, you know, even from, you know, people in the city at one point, I remember it was just, oh, y'all, the bougie church or this, right? Started on time. The spirit of excellence was in the place. When new members came in, that was impressed upon them because they saw it from us. We instilled that in people because our pastor instilled it in us. And it was just an awesome foundation. Just, I mean, amazing.
And you started singing with us too, like right away, because I mean you have this beautiful voice. So I know that you just were able to pick that up and come right on in.
Yes. So I started with the praise team and singing, and I'm telling you, I mean, with you, Rick, Doreen, even when Anita was there, oh my God, it was just just amazing. And the Sounds of Hope was, I mean, like no other.
There was no choir in Daytona Beach. I was in Florida, like Sounds of Hope. No one.
Let me tell you, like I said, I was brought up in Church of God by Faith, and Church of God by Faith used to have the battle with Church of God down on the corner, Deliverance Church of God right now. So that was the thing. But let me tell you, when Sounds of Hope came into play, there was nothing like it.
We're gonna sing you on the pews. Now, Jackie, you were Jackie was on the ministry. You were hospitality, correct?
I started as greeter.
You started as a greeter. So walk us through that when you were a greeter. Then I remember you eventually getting on hospitality.
So I started as a greeter, and that's when you had to be on time. And they were, you know, we all had our set schedule, but the thing was, be there 15 minutes on your post, be ready. And so, and come with a smile and love, because you don't know what that person went through or going through when they come through that door. So we had to be ready to smile, love, hug, whatever it is that you need to do. If you see somebody not smiling, you put a smile on their face. So that it was funny. It kind of fit me, but I didn't know at the time. You know what I'm saying? When they say you want to be a greeter, I'm like, But once I got into it, and I said, oh, this is me, because I like making people smile.
You did all the time.
And so that was, you know, that fit for me. And that's funny how God put you in places of where you need to be. So that was kind of my calling. And then from there, I went to helping them in the kitchen. So I was doing greeter, and then I went into the kitchen.
A serious kitchen.
Yes, Lord. They asked me, do you want to serve? I said, serve who? They said the pastor. I said, oh, no, I want to serve. I knew our pastor was of excellent, you know, and not that I was just nervous, you know. So I ended up
he's very particular,
I learned a lot about serving and the level of excellence. And that took me a long way at work, at home, because you start repetition continued to want to be of excellence.
Right.
So I learned a lot during that time of being a greeter, serving, and we, Pastor brought the best. We had the best of the best. So you had to be on your A game. And, that's just one of the things that I just kept going and going and going. And long as you're doing your 100%, you're doing your best and giving of excellence, it just flows. It just flows. So after that, I just got comfortable with it. And then when the lead servant moved on, they asked me to be the lead servant of hospitality greeter. I'm like, prayer worked. But it was amazing. I thank God for that time, them 20 plus years that I was able to be a greeter, serve hospitality, help with usher. It instilled a lot in me to give to others. And then I found out that that's ministry.
Yeah.
Giving to others, feeding others, making sure your pastor is taken care of, making sure your congregation is taken care of. So that was an honor for me. And I will always cherish that because it helped me to realize what's my calling. People, sharing, loving, caring for people. I'm a nurse. So I continue to care. So that's one of my passions. And I thank God for the triplet family and Pastor giving me that opportunity, even when I made mistakes.
Right.
I made mistakes. You know how our pastor was about excellent, being on time, things in order. But when I made mistakes, he
and it was all on love. I mean, you felt nervous too. You were nerve-wracked if you were gonna be late. Oh my God, because I lived in Port Orange at the time. And then had to go to State Street, and Derbyshire was any better. And it's like, oh my God, I gotta leave right now. If I knew I was gonna be late, and we didn't have the luxury of texting and stuff back in those days.
Right.
But you had to get there. You ran lights. You probably got a ticket, whatever. It just like you wanted to get there on time. And I think in all seriousness though, I don't know if Pastor even realized what he was doing. And maybe he did. I'm sure God told him, but he was teaching us how to develop. He was developing people. To be better in our careers, in our homes, with our families. It was just really, it was beyond church. It was beyond that. But that's where we got our foundation.
And they led by example. It wasn't this, I'm just going to tell you to do it. It was, we saw it.
You saw it, yeah.
We were able to follow. Yeah.
Right.
And
it goes a long way.
You both, all of us, were able to raise our children through hope, and wasn't that just a beautiful thing to have to do? I mean, especially with the way the world is and what it's turned out to be, we are all blessed to say that our children came through Hope Fellowship Church.
They got a good foundation, yes, Lord.
Foundation. Good foundation, and no matter what and how they grow and who they become, they'll never forget the foundation. And just hearing Destiny and Donovan talk about that earlier as young people, because they're around you all's kids' age, and just to see them now. It's like that was just a foundation that was laid there. I was working there just loving to do something. Yes, I did sing, but of course I used to dance, perform, and do shows and stuff. And I just believed in young people. I just wanted to, someone did it for me, but I didn't realize the magnitude of what I was really doing, because it was something I just loved to do. And then I look back on it now and think about it like, wow, that's what really developed me to who I am, and just to see these young people grow and be who they are. So I know that you all are probably really proud about that too.
Yes. I mean, even when the kids were, Destiny, Donovan, all in, when we had the Alexis Center and we would go over and do youth church there. We would go to youth church, and I was looking on Facebook, and I think Destiny and Tini, they were going back and forth. One of Bishop's songs he had wrote, "Oh Lord, I thank you. It's going to be a good day. It's going to be a good day." And one of them had posted. I was like, yes, it's going to be a good day. Those things stick with those kids, and it's just amazing, because even when we would be doing praise and worship, Ernest, Bishop would be preaching and he'd turn around and teach us a song right there. Lord, I believe that my latter days will be greater than my former. That is just,
and you better catch it.
And you better catch it, and we're gonna sing it. And it was just it was amazing. Yeah.
It was amazing times at Hope. I'll tell you, I wanted Elder Triplet still on with us. If we can bring Elder Triplet back with us, I think she's still on the line with us. I'd love to have her back on. There she is. Hey there. Welcome back.
Hello.
You hear us talking about you and talking about all the great things. and all the funny
Yeah.
times. Oh, and just, I mean, what would you like to add to the conversation? With now seeing Jackie, and you see your good and your best friend Francis on the live with us.
Jackie, hello, Jackie. It's good to see you. She is so special. Oh my goodness. And full of jokes all the time. Good laughter. That's one thing Hope Fellowship had. We had some good laughter as well.
Yes.
Joking was you had to have some thick skin to come through Hope Fellowship.
Yeah.
Definitely.
You couldn't be no wuss. You had to have thick skin for real.
You're right. You couldn't be no wimp.
Look, if you didn't know how to play dozens, you better be able to tough it up, because you're gonna get it.
Tough it up, get over it.
That's it.
But that was all hard knocks, though. That was all about life. It was just really what we all needed. And Elder Triple, when you think about it, we talk about being anointed, but you were very young yourself. When everything started, right? You were like your children's age, I believe, right? Somewhere around there. I don't want to give you age. Sorry. But
oh no, it's fine. Listen, the alternative to old is dead, so I'm gonna go with old every time.
Okay, that's a good way to put it.
Yes, I was definitely in my still in my 20s, in my late 20s, and we were definitely young. Well, I guess Donovan said it, 27. So we were 27 the year Hope started. And I was 26 because Bishop is older than me. So I was 26, but he was 27. We were young, and thankfully we also had come from good foundations of the word and order and structure. And of course the Full Gospel Baptist Church Fellowship, we can't say, we have to mention them. They laid the foundation, and they deposited in us. And so many other ministries as well planted into Hope Fellowship Church. But we had some good structure. We had a solid foundation of the word, had a little silly, a little talent, a little gift. So all of those things got anointed with the Holy Spirit, and God just gave the city hope, which is what the city needs. So.
And I got to say too, the Women of Hope too. Elder Tracy, you did. The Women of Hope was amazing. It was a ministry that was in time, and every time we had banquets or whatever it was, you always gave a good word, whether it was Pastor Granger's wife from Miami, whoever it was. I mean, we always had good women that would deposit in us, as well as yourself. Let me tell you would pray the temple down. Yes, Lord. And I appreciate that. But we got good foundations all around.
Amen.
All around. And I mean, you and you did your duties were so stretched, because you sing and you preached and you were a mother and you were this big sister to people and this friend. How did you, and you had a career, you were a real woman. God, I'm getting exhausted mentioning all this. How did you do that?
We had a lot. I definitely had a lot going on. That's for sure. But I guess, we were young. We didn't think about all the stuff we had to do. We just got it done.
There was no Facebook and all that, so we were good.
Right. And it was just a joy. This was, I felt like, I knew this was a calling. God had prepared the way. He had already planted within us everything we needed to pour out. So it really was just a matter of being a willing vessel for God to do what he did. So I'm really grateful to have been a part of it.
What do you hope for the future of Hope? And anybody can answer this. Like, what are we hoping for the next 25 years, whether we're here or moved on somewhere else or whatever? What is your hope to see Hope Fellowship to become?
Well, I would like to see Hope Fellowship just continue on the path that it's on. I am very proud of Pastor John Paul McGee and the work that he is doing at Hope Fellowship Church. He has a special gift, a special anointing, and I believe that he has done a great work since he has been at Hope Fellowship. So I definitely want to give him kudos. I just would like to see Hope continue to grow, and I think we've had some growing pains. We've gone through some different seasons, but I just really believe there's only great things in store to continue on and just continue to build up people and to teach people the love of God and give them a solid foundation to do all the things that God wants them to do.
I concur with that, and you know, one of the things that that when I think about hope too, you know, we talked about a lot of things, but one of the things that I feel, and correct me if I'm wrong, it seemed like music was a big part of hope too,
Oh yeah.
because Bishop was you know, he's the master at that, and it's like songs will like penetrate your life because
Yeah.
it's like what he was singing about or what he wrote about. It was stuff that you were really going through yourself, and it was amazing how God married that together to help people. You know,
Yeah.
even when you think about, you know, the yes, there is hope, never give up, hold on, you know, be strong, my brother. You know, it was just like those little things like that was just, you know, they were what seemed to have been words, and me being younger and not really understanding it like I do today. You know,
Yeah.
49-year-old Ernest is a lot different than 26-year-old Ernest. And it's like, but the power of the tongue in that. And so you hold on to those things when trouble does come, and it will come, and things will come in life that will just shake us and move us. And I know that we all are standing and are here today because we have a solid foundation in each other, in each other.
And
Francis, how about you?
you hit a good point. I mean, music has been music is the part of that foundation. You know, when I think about those songs, you know, Lord, I believe my latter days will be, but when you get to the end, so much ahead of me, so much ahead of me, good days, better days, my best days ahead of me. It's all in the words. You said it. The power of life and death is in our tongue, and we speak those things because we're given that. And you know, music, one thing Hope Fellowship will do, it'll throw you at the mic. You know, you'll get thrown in stuff, and you're gonna sink or swim. And so most 9 times out of 10, we're gonna try and swim, even if we're doggy paddling. But you know, God is always glorified in everything.
Always.
That's the wonderful thing about Hope Fellowship Church. Even I watch the newer members coming in now that have joined under Pastor John Paul McGee and everything. We're still the ones that are of us that have been there. We're still being able to pour into them and still loving on them, embracing in them, and now they're learning. So it's just amazing. Even looking at our mothers, you know, Miss Dallas, Miss Dixon, Miss Porty, I mean, all of them. It's just amazing. It's amazing. Yeah.
I mean, it's you know, I have like no regrets. You know, it's just one of those things that, you know, you're just really glad it was a part of your life, and you're glad that, you know, you were a part of history in that. You know, because, you know, someday when the time comes, there will be a whole nother generation after us. And our hope is that we've instilled this hope into them, like you said, Francis, how, you know, we're able to instill it to the young people who are coming forward today. And I love it. You know, now, you know, I'm still young, but I'm old at the same time. So when I go to church now there and I see all these younger people coming and doing things, I can sit back and I'm like, okay, this is pretty good to see these young people who are on fire for the Lord and want to work and do things. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing to witness. God, it's a beautiful thing.
And let me tell you, the family aspect, like you all hit on, the family aspect of Hope Fellowship Church, it can't be manufactured. It can't be made up. It's genuine. And I'm gonna tell you, with the Lord, when I lost my husband, when my husband transitioned, that the way my family of hope came together, it simply blew my mind, you know, because it's just that kind of family. It's no, you know, I don't need, well, what should I do anything or anything? Everybody just comes together, and we do that for all of anybody that's a part of our family. And it's amazing. It really is.
Well, and Francis, guess what I got? I have James. I just got a note saying that James is here. Let's bring James Burt in with a talk about music. Speaking of music.
Hey, Doc.
Hey, everybody. How y'all doing?
Good.
Hey, good to see you, man. I'm so glad you're doing.
Oh, my God. I'm going crazy. I got these kids. Nobody told me. No.
Oh my God. Have you heard some of the conversation we were having?
Yes, sir, man. Oh, just the memories, man. Just so many memories, just of the music, and just how, just like Francis was saying, how it brought us all together, and how we were a family. It wasn't just about singing. It wasn't just about ministry. It was about being there for each other and struggling together. Yes, my God. And Bishop definitely had high expectations for us all.
Yes.
And that sometimes exceeded above what we thought we could do. But definitely, we always came through. We always were able to be above just about anybody anybody and anything that was around us, and people who came in from all over the country. When we would go to their churches, they would talk about how awesome our music ministry was and how incredible it was. And see, that's the part that a lot of people didn't get to see. And as I was traveling with Pastor, when some of the people that came to our church would come visit us, and when we go visit them, they would just talk about just how tremendous. And they would talk about Francis and Elder Tracy and Rick and everyone. They would just go on and on about it. And we just had so many incredible musicians from, Johnny to Dario to
Altamont.
Altamont, Courtney. I mean, if you look at some of these guys that have played a Hope Fellowship and where they are now.
Still the drummer's name. I can't remember his name. He came after Johnny.
After Johnny, Leroy.
Yes.
Leroy. Leroy plays. He's in LA. He plays for J. Cross.
Wow.
Jalen was another one.
Look, Jalen.
Look at Jalen. Jalen is the minister of music.
Yes.
Did y'all ever think, right? But I mean, it's just
great job too.
The musicians that have come through Hope Fellowship Church, all of you all are in so many great places doing so many great things. It's just amazing. I'm so proud of y'all. It's amazing.
Yeah. So it's incredible, and just the level and the standard that we maintained, and it was just been amazing. And it ain't always been that way. I remember sitting in that little corner in State Avenue. I don't think y'all remember that corner.
That corner.
One way in, one way out.
I remember that hot choir stand back there with we fight with the fan. It was like one little fan and we kind of turn it on us.
Wait a minute, it wasn't the baptism pool out the back door.
Yeah, it wasn't inside the warehouse. No, I gotta tell you, James. When I came to Hope, and I knew James from college, so I already knew you, James. But I remember, of course I sing, but one of the things that was really big for me is performing and dancing and things like that. And I remember you probably don't remember this, but it's amazing what you remember back in the days. And this is on State Avenue. You're introducing me to Bishop, who already knew who I was, but he was Pastor Triplett at that time, and letting him know who I am and what I was capable of and what I could do. And you threw out that he used to be a drum major, he used to do these things and all this stuff. And I remember one of the conversations said, as long as you don't have, and Bishop, he would say, as long as you don't do all that, all that cooking and all that, grind and all that. I promise you, and I grew because I used to have to prepare routines and stuff, and had to show it, present it to him first. Show it. I remember before we presented to anybody, and I appreciate that because you know what? That's how I am today. That's just how I am today. Wow. To this day.
Ernest, let me just say, when I was looking through the archives, through the videotapes, looking for the inaugural service, the Wade in the Water thing you did for Black History Month, the children, who that is. You did some amazing things with our kids. Rudolph the Red-Nosed. Remember Donovan?
Donovan was Rudolph, I think,
he was rapping. Yes, rapping Rudolph. And CJ was rapping at that time, and now he's a big
You see what I'm saying?
It's been amazing.
And those are memories forever and ever and ever. Those are things that they build us, and that's why your kids are so great today. And I was doing something that I think we all were doing things that we love, but we were able to use those gifts and those talents and that anointing there at our church. There's nothing better than that.
Oh my God, so much impact you had, bro. So much, man. I talk to some of these kids now, and a lot of them, I see on Facebook or Instagram or whatever, man. They can still remember what play they were in, what moment they sung in the choir, what dance they did. They remember some of the steps. And those things that stick with you like that are things that are monumental to them, man. Yeah. It's people who hit low points in their life, but they still had those memories, man. And you'd be surprised how that just will bring you out of some things, and you remember who and what you are. And man, that's what ministry is really all about, man. That's what Hope Fellowship's legacy has been, of just providing love and hope for people who didn't have hope.
From everybody, from the babies to the elderly, there was something. And
y'all don't know that about that senior choir. Oh my God!
You said the senior choir?
Y'all don't remember the senior choir when we first?
Yes, Lord.
Oh, Yeah, but I tell you, they was gonna sing what they wanted to sing, the way they wanted to sing it.
Well, Dallas is gonna sing a song, yes.
We got this. They got this, right? I gotta tell you, this has just been really great tonight. I'm gonna be doing a part 2 of this on tomorrow, and it's gonna be with the Generation of Hope from 2005 to current day. So I was able to talk to some of my friends, the people, those of us who are founders and foundational members, and just deal with that. One thing I got to say, Hope Fellowship Church too, I would be remiss to say that, it's where I met my wife, my lovely wife, Nicole, and we have a beautiful daughter, Sydney, and Sydney loves going to church. I'll be honest.
I introduced y'all, so I should know.
If I could be transparent, there was a time when I was really low and down. And, I never ran away from God, never done that. My goodness, no. But, you have those down moments. And Sydney's like, Daddy, why aren't you going to church today? You need to get up. And it was so beautiful to hear your daughter, who at that time might have been 8. She's a teenager now. But, it was those little moments that let me know that, okay, Ernest, you train, you have done what you're supposed to. And for her to not see me do that, it hurt my heart one time. I was like, I got to get back involved. Hence now being the chairman for the 25th church. And I'm like, man, here I am again. And you try to think about what's next in life, because, you can't dance forever. My knees hurt now.
For a different reason, right?
You got to reinvent yourself, man. It's like, then you figure out that, I know I'm still supposed to be involved with Hope Fellowship. I was called there for a reason, and I'm just so happy and blessed. I wish this would have been in person, but that's okay. The party don't stop. We're going to pick it up next year. Jackie is my co-chair, actually, of the anniversary as well. So, Jackie, I'm so glad that you're on. So it's good to have some seniority, those of us who've been around to be a part and lead the way. Pastor JP was so gracious and happy. I have to get ready to end the segment. We've been on for about an hour. It doesn't feel like it. I could talk some more. I'm trying to go on and on and on. So I'm going to say thank you to all of you. We're going to be doing this again on tomorrow. Pastor JP is going to come in. He and I are going to close it out and talk about what's coming up next. I love all of you. Thank you so very much.
Guys.
Love you
You
too.
all look wonderful. Stay safe, guys. Love you.
Oh,
Love you.
Take care.
Right.
Wow, Ernest, that was like amazing. Amazing. Can y'all hear me?
We hear you fine.
Yeah, that was, man. To see Destiny Donovan, Elder Tracy, Minister Linda Ammons, yourself, Francis, reminisce and reflect on the early times, the early years from the very beginning. And just to see the joy with which you all remember and continue to embrace and respect the ministry, the mission and vision of Hope Fellowship Church as founded through our founding pastor and Bishop Derek Triplett. I am so grateful. When I initially had this idea and presented to you, you were like, hey, this sounds like something great to do. And I had no idea it was going to materialize like this. I mean, literally, I saw you all beating back tears.
Yeah, it was hard.
It's just that fine. So I want to thank personally Elder Tracy, Destiny, and Donovan for coming on. Y'all know I don't do insects and stuff like that, so I keep looking around. And Minister Linda Ammons and Francis Giller and James Burt and Jackie Butler and everybody who made tonight so extremely special. We pick up again tomorrow with our second part of the conversation. Tomorrow, Ernest is going to moderate a conversation with our pastoral staff, with me, Pastor Faye, and Pastor Piper tomorrow. And then as well, we're going to hear from those who have come along the way. I came to Hope, I think it was in 2006, which is also, kind of, you were still doing the expressions thing around 2006. And so in 2020, so much had transpired and so much changed. So we're going to have an opportunity to engage in that discussion tomorrow as well. I want us to make sure as well that talk a little bit about Thursday, the Throwback Thursday service.
Well, yeah, the Throwback Thursday service is going to be on Thursday, and it's going to be the very first service of Hope Fellowship Church. And you don't want to miss that, because you probably heard earlier Elder Tracy Triplett talking about it when she went to look in the archives. And Donovan, he said that he viewed it, and it's just amazing to see all of that. I mean, it's a powerful day, and it was a powerful service. So we want everybody to share it, like it, and all those kind of things, Pastor, because it's going to be something you don't want to miss.
Absolutely. We'll be posting flyers about that all week. So tomorrow, conversation, Thursday service, and then Saturday is the big virtual birthday kickback for the church. Saturday via Zoom. We're going to be on Zoom. I believe it starts at 5:30. No, 5 o'clock, right?
I think it's 5:30, 5 o'clock, I believe. Yeah, I have to double check though.
Saturday with our Zoom virtual kickback. Listen, we can accommodate, I believe it's about 100 people on Zoom. Yep. So everybody come on. It's free. Bring your mocktails. We're going to have mocktail things. All right. Bring your mocktails. We're going to have a DJ. It's going to be an amazing time. Listen, we're trying to make this the biggest, baddest virtual church anniversary celebration ever. And I think we're on our way to making that happen. Thank you, Ernest, for your stellar leadership in this. Sir. And I look forward to seeing everybody tomorrow at 7 as we continue part 2 of our trip down memory. Have a good night, everyone.
Good night.
Thank you.